Karen Blue. I'm a commercial pilot. I'm covering the Women in Aviation International Conference.
My name is Karen Brannen. I'm currently a demonstration pilot for Gulfstream Aerospace. I fly the G450, 550, and 650 airplanes. I flew F-18s in the Marine Corps, and I was the first female Marine fighter pilot. I wanted to be a fighter pilot from the time I was probably in junior high school, and women couldn't do that then, and my timing just happened to work out perfectly that women were allowed to do it by the time that I got there, and I was the first one to get there totally by chance. Nothing in particular made me think that I could do that. I just kept trying, put one foot in front of the other and repeat as many times as necessary. But I had a lot of family support, and from the time I was a small child, my dad always told me that I could do anything that I wanted to do. So to have your parents support you like that, and that the sky's the limit, there's not one single thing you can't do, that really makes a big difference. And he really pushed things like that to make me believe I could be anything I wanted. The best thing about being a fighter pilot is going out and pulling a lot of G's and fighting with other airplanes. There's nothing more rewarding than simulated shooting down another airplane, or then in the Marine Corps, you know, obviously close air support is near and dear to our hearts, to support the guys on the ground. And to have a bomb go exactly on target, exactly where you want it to, is awesome. And to roll up on your wing and, you know, look down there and see that the tank you were aiming at exploded is a really good feeling. And the worst part about being a fighter pilot as being a girl is the fact that you can't go to the bathroom. So that's the worst part. And the long debriefs, you know, a 3-hour debrief for a 1-hour flight gets a bit taxing, but to be honest, the worst part is the lack of ability to go to the bathroom. Flying an F-18 and flying at Gulfstream are two entirely different jobs, and the preparation that goes in is entirely different. Flying at Gulfstream, I'm worried about where I'm going in the world, the hours of the field, the length of the runway, whether they're going to have catering, whether there are hotels, where our passengers are going to go when we get there, how the security is for all of the sometimes crazy places in the world that we go. Whereas flying in a fighter plane, you know, it took a lot to get to the brief, and a lot, you'd put a big board up to brief the flight an hour and a half in advance, and then you would go fly for maybe an hour, and you might come back and debrief for sometimes 3 hours for a 1-hour flight. The debriefs now are typically about 5 or 10 minutes of me and the other pilot talking about things that went wrong or right, or things we want to do different. Now the challenges that I have are going to a foreign country that I've been flying for 14 hours to get to. It's the middle of the night. I can't understand the controller. The weather is horrible, and the people in the back have to have no idea that it's even remotely challenging. So a totally different set of challenges that you face. Whereas in an F-18, it's the 1 hour in the air. The takeoff and landing part aren't the hard part. It's what happens in the middle, with the exception, of course, of coming back to land on the carrier. That part's hard. I think Women in Aviation is a wonderful organization. I have been coming to the conference for since 2000, so 13 years, although I haven't been able to come every year. I've been on deployment some years, or on work trips some years. I've probably been to 8 or 9 conferences. And initially, when one of my friends, Jen Nodhelfer, a fellow Marine aviator, told me I had to come to this conference, said, "What is it like?" And she said, "Oh, it's amazing. There's like 2,000 women all there." And I said, 2,000 women in one place kind of sounds like my worst nightmare. She said, no, it's good. And so then I came to the conference, and it is the most supporting, amazing group of women you could ever imagine. No one is catty. Everyone is happy to meet people. And when they meet you, they ask you, what do you do and what do you want to do? And if they know someone who could help you achieve your dream, they march you right over to whoever it is and introduce you and help you do so. It is an amazing networking organization for women. I would tell them to just keep trying, and it's going to be frustrating. There's a lot of things that haven't changed and probably won't change for a very long time. There are never probably going to be hordes of women in aviation, so you're always going to be a minority, and that's just part of it. So you just have to accept it and do the best that you can do, and make sure that you are doing things that would make everyone else proud.